Welcome, everybody. We are filming episode 69 of podcaston.ca.
Yes,
Yeah.
brought to you from River City Yarns here in Edmonton, Alberta.
This is our podcast about what it's kind of like to be behind the scenes at a yarn shop. And we talk a lot about the things that we're doing and the things that are coming up, hey?
Yes, that's right. All the events that we're holding, and it's going to be a fun fall.
Yes. So September is here.
Almost.
Yeah. Well,
right?
you can tell that it's fall because you go into the grocery store now and all you see are Halloween treats
And pumpkins. And there's a crispness in the air.
The smell of fallen leaves. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting ready for fall, right?
Yeah.
The kids are back in school. They've gotten all their pencils sharpened, because they don't do that anymore, do they? Everything's on a computer.
They still buy notebooks, but yeah, it's true.
Do kids use pencils anymore? Is that just a thing of the past? Well, what's up on our schedule, Barb?
Where would you like to start? I mean, we have lots of things. We have lots of events. We could start there, or we could talk about yarn. That's always popular. Or we could start with your finished objects.
Yeah, I wish I had some
Me
to
too.
share.
I know. I was looking through and thinking, I wonder if I can bring in an old FO from 5 years ago that no one will recognize.
You did text me and ask me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said,
We've been too busy. We have just been flying, doing swatches for the last month.
yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. We've got September's a busy month for us. We've got a number of events coming up. Maybe we'll start with the first one. We've got Stitches Expo at home.
Yes, that's going to be exciting. And our theme for that one is what? We were gift giving at the last theme. What about this one? Maybe it's back to school.
Sure, yeah. I am, wearing a back to school outfit. We were joking about it a little bit before that maybe I look a little preppy today. But
Cynthia looks like a teacher, don't you think? A university professor.
I am wearing the Rutherford vest.
Yes, it is very preppy. We photographed it on the grounds of the university.
I know. It's going to the
Show it off.
University of She wants me to stand up, right?
She's not wearing pants.
I'm wearing shorts. It's allowed.
Okay.
It's still
All right.
fall.
Well,
You're still allowed to wear shorts. And they're, preppy shorts. But anyway, I am wearing the Rutherford vest. This is a design that was created for us by Holli Yeoh. And she's coming to River City Yarns virtual this month to teach a class on Intarsia, which is how this is knit. Yeah.
That's such an exciting technique too, right?
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, Intarsia is a form of color work in which you change yarns across the row, and you can have as many colors in the row as you want. This one's fairly simple in that you typically just have the one diamond that you're working on. But it's a really smooth kind of color work, and it's a great way to do motifs in knitting.
Yes.
If you want to have something, if you want to have diamonds and cross hatches, a bit of an argyle, that's the way it's done. Or I remember knitting one of those sweaters for my kids, with the big cat face on it, and you knit the face in Intarsia, and then you go back in later and do a bit of embroidery.
I remember the elephant one that you did.
Oh, right. So the arm of one half of the sweater was the trunk of the elephant, and then there was a big ear on the front and one on the back, and then on the other arm you had a little tail. That was his.
It was so cute.
It was very cute.
And was that all Intarsia?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have difficulty with Intarsia.
It is one of those things where it's really good to take a class because someone like Holli can really smooth the learning curve for you. And this is a class, Holli likes to teach classes in which she encourages people to knit along with her. Some classes are delivered more like a lecture. Some classes are delivered more like a demonstration. You watch what I do and then try it later.
Yeah.
But Holli builds in lots of time for everyone to participate.
That's a great way to do it, in my view, because, you know, then you get some practice time and I feel like you remember it. if you get to try it out.
Yeah, yeah. I think with all the classes, you should definitely do that anyway. You know, like the classes that we have are all recorded, and so if you know, even if you did sit through it, let's just say you fell behind a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe you got up to make yourself a coffee, and then the phone rang, and then by the time you came back, everyone was
gone
5 rows ahead of you. Has that happened to you? Have you come back to a
Never.
class and everybody's gone? Anyway, they're recorded. So afterwards you can watch and you can hit pause and then you can catch up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it does allow you to ask questions in the moment, which is kind of a nice thing.
And I think that's the best way to learn, you know, to try it out and to do a little example, do a swatch. And yeah, and I think there's duplicate stitch in this too. Is she going to cover off that as well?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I think
fantastic.
duplicate stitch and Intarsia, the colorwork technique, they kind of go hand in hand. So in this design, the diamonds are done in Intarsia, and then the cross hatching is done in duplicate stitch afterwards.
Yeah.
So yes, you will get both of those in the class.
And a sweater, or sorry, a vest is a perfect canvas.
I love vests,
Right?
Barb. I think, you know, because it's no sleeves.
You're getting a little warm?
Oh, no. But I you know, I just get burned out on sleeves. How about you?
Oh, yeah. Like you've heard of my, you know, whining about Sleeve Island. So yes, sleeves is, yeah.
Yeah. And then you know what inevitably happens? That you knit the sleeves and then they're too long.
Yeah.
And then you have to rip back on them. And then that just makes me even madder because I thought I was done, and then I put it on, and it's, you know, my sleeve's down to here.
That's why you'll see mine all rolled up 6 times.
I think I have seen a sweater of yours with the sleeves rolled up. Okay, so Holly's coming to do an Intarsia class. It's September 8th and 15th.
Right.
So you actually have a week in between to practice as well and bring back questions.
Great.
But the classes are recorded, so if you're not unable to come at the time, or you get busy, or just, you know, life happens, it's all safe.
And then once you've taken the class, you can knit Cynthia's beautiful Rutherford vest.
Yes, yes. Because what we'll be doing in class is practicing one of those diamonds and the cross hatching on it.
Oh, perfect.
So you actually get to knit a swatch in class, but we call it an exercise. So it's all good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
So we're doing Stitches Expo at home. I got completely off topic, and you asked me about a theme, and I got flustered. Yeah.
You flustered?
Me flustered.
I don't think so. That's a good try, but
do we have to have a theme for Stitches?
Well, sort of, because you know we have to bring yarn, and
so hey.
So
I know what we should do.
What?
I think you should knit a back-to-school gnome.
Oh my God! With a backpack and a notebook, a little mini pencil.
Maybe a beret instead of a pointy hat. Could you make a gnome without a pointy hat?
Why
or is
not?
that not allowed?
Sure. Well, we know that Frosty doesn't even need to have a stuffed head.
Frosty the Gnome Man. Yeah, refer back to episode 68 if you want to know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Frosty's squished head.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Do you like that?
I do.
Okay.
Let's all do it. So you'll do one as well, right? Or is that just the royal we? You do the gnome.
How about if you knit the gnome and I make I-cord arms for you?
Yeah, sure.
You can sew
On your machine.
I'm not a machine user.
Okay.
I would do it.
We'll chat about that.
I would do that for you. All right, so we have to come up with a theme for Stitches Expo at Home. But for those of you who want to join us, Stitches Expo at Home is this great online kind of learning / marketplace, right? It's classes and vendors, and it's all online, which is why it's Stitches at Home.
You know, we've been swatching so much this last month. We could just take swatches.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and show those.
Would that inspire people to buy yarn, you think?
Possibly. And to sign up for classes, because that's really kind of where we're headed, right?
Yeah.
That's our
it's
whole
fall. We've got a great lineup started, and
back to school, back to learning, back to re-educating yourself about specific techniques or things that you've always wanted to learn but just never got around to.
So, and this is a great segue to the whole reason for the podcast and the why why we want to talk to you about what it's like to be in a yarn shop. And one of the things that you and I have done consistently year over year is invest in our own professional development.
Yes.
As I think, what's nice when you walk into a yarn shop, even if it's virtually walking into a yarn shop, is the ability to talk to somebody who knows a lot about the craft that you're working on.
And to get a little bit of help. I mean, we all have a basic understanding of, a technique, right?
Right.
But some people have done it more than others.
Right.
Right? And the thing that's, I think, valuable about our knowledge and expertise is that we've seen all the mistakes. Oh my God. And we've encountered all the problems and the, oh my God, look what happened here. And that's this happened and that happened. And so it's given us.
I had a woman call me.
Plus we've made a few mistakes along ourselves, right?
I had a woman call me the other day, and she was crocheting a sweater, and the crochet direction went side to side. So she's creating the back of her sweater and she's crocheting this way, right? And then those will be the sides. And so she said it was too wide. So she was unraveling from one side, and then she was going to unravel from the other side. And she phoned me and she said, "It's a mess. It's a total mess. How come I could take stitches off on one side and not on the other?"
She didn't understand.
I said to her, unfortunately, the side where you began, where your crochet foundation row is, that's not unravelable.
Right.
I mean, you could do it, but it's going to take you a very long time.
Yeah. Could you snip, though, and go backwards just like you could in knitting?
No. Well, even in knitting, you could snip a stitch and unravel a row, right? But if that row was ribbing, like knit and purl, you'd still be picking it out, right? So it only works in knitting if you've got this thing of stockinette and you you snip a stitch and you unravel that row, then you can unravel from the other one. Yeah. But if you mix up knits and purls, forget about it. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So, so I explained that to her, and I mean, we do it with
crochet so fast. She probably wasn't too upset, right?
I said, well, if you can repair that edge where you were picking it apart, maybe just crochet over it, and go back to your other edge and just unravel it more, right? Because that's what you really want. It's just something narrower. But it's a truth that you can only unravel from one end. And how do we know that? Because we've
years
been
of
there,
experience.
Right? Yeah. But as I was saying, we every year we would travel somewhere and take a course. Sometimes it was a business class. Sometimes it was a meetup with other yarn shop owners where we could talk about retail.
Marketing, yeah.
But almost always, every year, we would take a class. We'd go somewhere to a retreat or to a festival or remember when we went to Minnesota Yarn Over?
Yes.
That was so much fun.
So much fun.
And we'd take classes.
Yeah.
And we'd expand our knowledge.
And really, what have we been doing for the last 2.5 years?
COVID just kind of exploded all of that, right? We've been doing a lot of online programming, a lot of online classes, and we're sitting in on all those classes and recording and moderating and helping out with the chat. And so I feel like the last 3 years have been kind of like a university education.
Honest to God, isn't it true? Yeah.
So,
and for some of our customers too, I mean, think about, there's customers that we know who have taken multiple courses and come every week to Makers Meetup. And
they're starting to tell us about that. They're starting to say, well, Diane was talking to us last week about wanting to do a sweater, looking for a pattern, and then saying to herself, oh, I took Ann Budd's top-down sweater class. I should just,
I have the template. I can do it.
Yeah, I can make my own. Yeah.
It's lovely to see the confidence too, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, that's one of the big things in my view that feels so good about you know, having the shop and being able to coach people and guide people, when you see that confidence, that aha moment that they've got it, that's really,
it's special.
Feels great.
Yeah, yeah. And so it feels really good to have kind of brought that content to people. And I, you know, again, I think it's really important to keep looking for silver linings in this whole pandemic thing, because, and that's just one of the greatest ones, is that we've been able to connect with so many people from so many different places, instructors and friends and new people to our community. It's lovely.
So isn't this great? We've got our theme worked out just through chatting with all of you. Thank you.
All right, so Stitches Expo at Home is on September 9th through 11th, and we're planning to be in the marketplace on September 9th and September 11th.
Yes.
We'll take the 10th off. It's a Saturday, and we'll do some things here in the store. But we'll be bringing to you our gnomish ideas, maybe some swatches, maybe something else. So come and join us. You can. I don't think the tickets are too expensive for Stitches.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think they're. Is it free? The marketplace free? No.
I don't think so. I think you might have to purchase a marketplace pass, but you're really going to come for the classes and stay for the marketplace. So take a look at the classes for Stitches Expo at Home, and we'll put a link into the show notes just below this video. We'll put a link in so it's easy for you to find. And we'd love to see you there. Every time we attend one of these virtual events, it's so nice to see the names of familiar people in the chat. And so yeah, come and join us for that.
We'll have some fun coupon codes and giveaways and maybe a little contest or two. I mean, it's school. We should have a test. With prizes.
Oh, okay. Sure. Okay. Well, we better get cracking on that.
We better get cracking on that. Okay, so what else?
The next weekend after that, we're going overseas.
Ooh, where to?
We're going to
Germany.
No. Unfortunately, we're not going to Europe. We're going to the EU, though.
Oh.
Yeah, virtually.
Oh.
Yeah.
For Vivian.
Well, actually, I was thinking about Rowan Connect.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I should have told you where I was going with that. We've been honored to have the opportunity to teach 2 classes for Rowan Connect.
I know. Isn't that special?
It is really special. And I feel like we're bringing something kind of new to this. So Rowan Connect, in my mind, is kind of like Vogue Knitting Live or Vogue Knitting Virtual for those of us here in North America. It's an online event that Rowan puts on, and it garners attendance from Europe, but also from North America. It spans a lot of time zones. And so we're going to be teaching a couple of classes, and we're going to teach them from the perspective of yarn shop owners, right? Every day we're answering questions.
That expertise, that all those questions that you've asked us, we pulled those into 2 classes. And one's on yarn substitutions, right?
We've got a Rowan yarn for that. And this class is going to be about those questions that we get, again, on a pretty much daily basis, which is, I'm trying to get gauge in this pattern, and the pattern says I should get 22 stitches over 4 inches on a 4mm needle, but when I knit it, I'm getting 28 stitches.
We should say to that person, congratulations, because you've obviously done a swatch. And then that's always the very first thing. A lot of people don't even swatch. So, yeah.
But when somebody calls in, right? What are the first things we say? They want to knit something or crochet something, and we start asking them questions like, does it need to be machine washable?
All those things. So there's more than one consideration to take into fact when you're looking at a pattern and you don't have the yarn that the pattern recommends. How do you substitute that, right? So those are kind of the things that we're going to go into in this class. And you bet, we'll take into consideration fiber too, because if the pattern says wool and you have bamboo, I mean, they may not be compatible, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. It's those kind of things, and it's all with the intent of building you to success. So the closer you can get to the yarn and the pattern, the closer your substitution can be, the more success you'll have, and that's, I think, really the key.
Yeah. Plus, you know, we've had beautiful Rowan yarns, which you can't get anymore. And I'm, you know, just off the top of my head, I'm thinking of Rowan Cocoon, which we used to make those snow daisy mittens. Yeah. And then the Rowan yarn that we used as the liner for our heavenly mittens.
Yes, that was Rowan Finest, I think.
Yes. And so we've had to do some improvisation with that. Yeah. And you know, and now we're
remember the sock yarn too?
Yes.
That we used to put with kid silkays.
Right. Yes. This one right here behind us. Yeah, Rowan fine lace. I may still have a few skeins of that in my stash.
Fine art.
Fine art.
Remember?
Thank you. Yes.
You have a few skeins of that?
I think I might. I've been working them
Coveted.
into socks.
Rowan's come out with a new sock yarn though, so that's very exciting.
Yes, and it's really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, but before we get off on that rabbit hole, we were talking about classes. So we talked a little bit about, we've got a Rowan yarn for that, and then the other class is about blending.
Yes, that's going to be a fun one too. So, you know, it's stripes, it's fades, it's marls, it's all of that stuff. How do you create different sorts of fabric from different yarns, whether it's different colors or different fibers?
And that's my excuse for not having any FOs, because we've been swatching.
Like
and
crazy.
Swatching.
Yeah, you want to show?
I've got a couple of swatches here.
Oh, good. Let's see them.
Now, I chose two colors that are kind of close together in saturation, and I, you know, wanted to do that so I could make sure that the blends, you know, showed up, right? So this is a bit of an accelerating stripe. This is kind of one of my favorite methods.
I love that,
for blending colors. So if you want to go from, you know, a dark color to a lighter color, or in this case, a green to a red, and have it look like it was designed that way or done that way on purpose, I really like this.
So this is an accelerating stripe, right? I'll show you the one that I've got.
Okay.
So I did some swatches too.
Yes.
Just find the accelerating
we just pile all the swatches on the table.
Okay, there's one there.
This is done out of cotton.
Yes.
Look at you go.
And then this one done out of mohair.
Oh, really nice. How many strands of mohair did you use?
Double strand.
Okay.
Let's see here. 2 colors held double.
Yeah.
29 stitches, 6mm needle.
Yeah. So I like these ones because they're a little more graphic than mine are. But I guess, you know, having a number of swatches just kind of shows you how you can blend any 2 colors.
Well,
really.
And when you think about blending, this one doesn't blend. I mean, this is really a dark color and a light color, and they really stand out from each other, right? But say you wanted it to be more tone on tone, right? That's where your swatch is very much like that.
Right.
If you wanted it to be more subtle, and that's, you could use 2 colors of sort of the same intensity.
Yes.
And we'll talk about, you know, how do you determine intensity too in the class.
Yes.
But what else do you have?
Have you got a marl there?
A marl. I do have a marl.
Okay.
I have 2 of them actually.
So marling is when you take you double strand a yarn, or triple strand, or quadruple strand a yarn, and you change 1 strand each time. So these are the same. This is the same marling technique. You're holding up and I'm holding up.
Yeah.
Where you've got a blend.
2 colors, right? You're using a light and a dark.
Yeah.
And me too.
Yeah.
And in the middle, you've got the blending. So you're starting out with 1 color up here, and then you 2 strands though, right?
Yeah.
And then you drop a strand and use 2 and then come back to the bottom.
Yeah, so it's double stranded the whole way through, but you're blending the colors. And so this is how you can turn 2 colors into 3, or 3 colors into 5.
Oh, have you got that swatch?
6. I don't. Do you? Oh, Barb.
Yeah, I told you I have been busy.
Pretty.
Do you like this one?
I love that one.
Okay, so this is 3 colors.
Okay.
Right? And 4 strands.
Right. So you could actually get It's 3 colors. You could probably get 6 color combinations out of there if you combine this one and this one, right?
I think so, yeah. I could have kept going.
This is really pretty.
So yeah, 4 strands of white, and then you drop 1 and add the next color, and then drop 2, drop 3, until you're all into the next color, and so on.
Right. So that gives you a really nice smooth gradient. But these colors, when you originally started, weren't gradient at all. You have a dark, a medium, and a light color.
Exactly.
But look how smooth that transition is. So I'll hold this one up, and so our viewers can kind of compare it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice, Barb. I like that.
And
have you got more?
Well, I have one more. This is using colors that, you know, are contrasting, sort of like a light, a dark, and a medium. But what happens when you, well, here, this one. This is stripes.
Okay.
And it's stripes using different kind of yarns.
Okay.
This is, I think, baby cash soft merino and mohair.
Okay.
And fine lace, double-stranded. So it's 1 row stripes with 3 different yarns, changing colors every row.
Right. Very nice.
All the yarns are similar in color to start out with.
Right.
But you can see how they really subtly shift.
Yeah.
In fact, when you're looking at this, it's really hard to even see the fine lace row.
It is. I like the pink and the cream color, which I think is the fine lace. They're very close in intensity, so they look similar. But you know what? I'm looking at the wrong side, and I'm falling in love with the wrong side.
I
you know?
know.
It looks very loopy.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Might have been my needle too. Like I used, what did I use?
To use a bigger needle?
I didn't. Oh, 5 millimeter.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, but I did double up on the fine lace. I held it, and the kid silk haze I held double. The baby cash soft merino was single.
So it might be interesting to try this again with a single strand of kid silk haze or a single strand of lace, and then you might get that floating yarn kind of aspect in there.
Exactly.
It's just so much fun. And you know, one of the advantages, like why would you do this? What's, you know, what possible reason would you have to do this? I mean, one is that you just love to play with color.
Yeah.
And you want a simple technique for playing with color. Another might be, it sounded like you had an idea there.
Or maybe you're trying to substitute yarn for a pattern where, you know, you might not have the right gauge of yarn, but you've got finer yarns that you could hold together to make that gauge.
Yeah. Or add a fine yarn to a medium yarn to get a slightly bulkier yarn and a marl at the same time.
And I mean, isn't that really what kid silk haze is all about? I mean, we talk about that a lot. Oh, you need chunky gauge and you've got worsted, just add, you know, a strand of kid silk haze. Yeah. So this was another one, Cynthia, that was done with baby cash soft merino.
Okay.
3 row stripes.
Nice.
So 1 row stripes, 3 colors.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. That's so. I love this technique because you're always carrying the yarn up the side. So in this class, we're going to take you through some exercises. We're going to encourage you to swatch using your yarns, and we'll show you how to blend your colors using stripes, different kinds of stripes. As you can see, accelerating stripes, 1 row stripes flat, 1 row stripes in the round. We're going to show you how to marl your yarns together, and then we're going to do a little bit of pattern blending.
Right, yes.
So we've been playing around with some
textures.
slip stitch textures. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've got one too.
Yeah. So yours is the slip stitch pattern, and I've bordered mine with the 2 colors here.
Yes, I should have done that too.
That's all right.
That would have been a good
We'll
thing to show.
We'll get there. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of what we're doing is, you know, playing around with swatches.
That's such a nice transition too, isn't it?
You know what? I kind of feel like it was good to use red and green because my
Yes.
mother's voice is in my head saying, you can't put red and green together. You're going to look like a Christmas tree, right? But I think that you can do it if you're clever about it. But, you know, doing all this swatching, Barb, has really inspired me. I'm so looking forward to this class.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Same techniques, just different yarns, different colors, and I think it'll be really cool to see what we both have.
Yeah. So we want to encourage you to attend. It would be kind of cool at the end of class to have people hold up their swatches so they can see what they look like. That'll be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all about blending yarns. And that's Rowan Connect, which is taking place September 16th and 17th. And the classes, there'll be lectures, there'll be keynote speakers. There's probably going to be a high tea mixed in there somewhere.
Yes.
So it'll be a lot of fun.
It's so British.
Yes. Yes. All the classes will, you know, if they have words like neighbor or favor in them, we'll have an extra U in there for those of you who use American English rather than British English. And you may hear us talking about Z instead of Z. But, you know, it's all good. It's all good.
We need fascinators.
She's always trying to get me to dress up, folks.
Of course. Would you like to see Cynthia in a really pretty hat, you know, with big feathers on it? Or?
Right. It's not enough that I do this. I'm going to have to do this as well, right?
Did you see Lucy Neatby on Facebook? She went to a wedding.
Oh.
And she had a fascinator.
No way.
And I think she bought it in the UK. Like, it's gorgeous.
Is it really?
Yes. You have to go to Facebook and check her out.
Okay. Lucy Neatby Fascinator. Okay. Wow.
I know.
I don't think of Lucy as being the fascinator type. So.
I know.
But probably it was pink and purple?
No, it was black and white. It was, and her dress was black and white. I mean, this is the lady that has, you know, purple hair and carries the chicken bag.
Right? Must have been a royal wedding.
I think so.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not sure who got married, but it was really cool.
Well, that's really interesting. Okay, I will definitely try to find that. Don't go looking for a link to that in the show notes below, because
that's pure fantasy.
All right.
All right.
So we do have some other sort of...
Yes, let's talk about the other Europeans that we have.
Okay. So as you probably know, Barb and I have been involved in a really great program called Fiberside Chats. And in fact, we've just wound up this summer with a virtual yarn crawl.
A road trip to, 29 stores? Or?
I think so, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So this Fiberside Chats is a group of yarn stores across North America that promote these chats that are hosted and arranged by Longmont Yarn Shop in Colorado. And we've met some really cool and interesting people through Fiberside Chats. So we took a break for the summer, but we didn't want to leave all of our participants without anything to do. So we said, let's have a summer crawl. Let's speed date 29 stores and spend 15 minutes every Sunday with 4 stores.
Yes. So how dangerous was that on your pocketbook?
Well, here's the for me as a Canadian, here's the problem is that all the other stores are in the US. So everything I ordered, you know, I had to pay something at the border, right? It was, I mean, I get I have to pay GST, but there's always a bit of a
It doesn't work that way the other way, though, does it? Our customers never have to, well, they've never told us that they ever had to pay any sort of additional charge from Canada.
Yeah.
So that's kind of lucky.
It's really difficult to not buy something from all the shops.
I know.
And if I lived in the US, I think, Barb, I'd be broke. Because there was just so many cool things.
Well, that's the thing. Each store had only 15 minutes. So they were showing us their creme de la creme of what they had.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did spend a bit of money.
Good investment. We're supporting local yarn shops.
Exactly, yeah. And I also supported Canada Border and Canada Border Services with their fees. But you know, I just the yarn shop gave me a discount, and I thought, that's going to Canada Border Services.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it was wonderful.
Thank you. We got great feedback too. There were over 600 people who signed up for it. Wow. And every week there were at least 250 people who came out to see the live show. And then those hours were recorded and posted up to YouTube. So
wow.
If you missed any, they're available, and they're all made public a week after the event. So I'll put a link to that to the YouTube channel in the show notes below. So if you want to see some of the great shopping that we did this summer, you can.
Are we still on there too?
We are, yeah.
Even after, okay.
Yeah. The discount code is expired though. So if you're watching us, that's not there. But subscribe to our newsletter, and you'll get a little bonus there.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
And so what else is happening with Fiberside Chats?
Right. So the regular schedule's back, and every second Saturday there's a brand new presenter that's coming out. So there's a list on Longmont's web shop. There's a list on our website as well, so you can see who's coming up. But the headliner, the first person to come in this fall, is Melanie Berg.
Oh, wow. So Melanie, Queen of Shawls, right?
Yeah.
And probably everything else.
A beautiful designer from Germany. And so you can read the information about her. She'll be doing a Fiberside Chat on Sunday, September 11th.
On Sundays then? Because you said Saturdays.
Did I?
Earlier.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's Sundays. The Fiberside Chats are on Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to take a trip to Denmark. And see our friend Vivian Hawksborough.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have, some special connection or things about Vivian that you like?
I just remember her books, and way back when I bought some of her kits, because she used to come out with kits.
We sold them in the store.
Yeah, where you would knit stripes, like
shadow knitting. Which is kind of what you're wearing today too, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see these? Can you see these blocks?
I can. You might have to hold it kind of like this, like you're. You know. Yeah. There you go.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
One of our customers has knit this summer Mona Lisa in a shawl. She held it up, and you could see Mona Lisa. Wasn't that amazing?
It is amazing. Yeah.
I love this. I just love this piece. This is Martin Stories. It's called Corinthian. We have kits in our shop with this. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love this.
That's done with 3 colors of Rowan felted tweed, and it's a great striping color blending project also.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
In a lovely way.
Maybe we should put some shadow knitting in our samples.
That's a great idea.
So yes, Vivian Hawksborough is probably one of the first people to really use shadow knitting in a design. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe somebody else had cornered that market, but she had these gorgeous kits, and she used a really toothy kind of fingering weight yarn.
Probably Danish.
Probably. Wasn't it Harrisville tweed?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so an American yarn then.
I wonder if she was in the States when she did that.
I don't know. I don't know.
We have to ask her.
We will, yeah. So she published books as well with patterns. She was also, in my mind, known as kind of like the domino knitting person.
Yes, did lots of squares.
Yes, and I've totally fallen in love this summer with mitered squares. And so there's a lot of things about Vivian that we kind of remember from the past, but she's written 2 new books. And so she's coming to a Fiberside Chat. This time, she's going to talk about a Danish museum that she's linked up with.
And she's put together a whole display of cave facet garments in the museum.
No kidding. Oh, wow. Those 2 would probably, I could just see those 2 getting along over coffee or tea, right?
And they know each other. I want her glasses.
I do too.
She has the best eyeglasses. Yeah. So anyways, you got to check that out. And to be able to even ask Vivian a question in the chat, wouldn't that be cool?
That's so cool. So that's on September 25th. And then in October, there's another really interesting person coming. Nancy Bates. Have you heard of her?
No, I haven't. What's her story?
She did these hats that are called Knitting the National Parks. And so she's got a hat. Yeah, it's coming to you now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's got a hat for all the national parks in the U.S. And it's a phenomenal collection.
Is that the series on the Grand Canyon?
I think so. I think so. Well, definitely our friend Jenny was doing one that was based on Canyonlands National Park. There's some national parks in Utah and Arches.
Yes.
So
is that the same designer?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You guys, save the date for that one.
October 9th.
These hats were amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I think there may be a conservation angle there, but definitely if you know, I
feel so lucky that Mario and I, 2 or 3 years ago, before COVID, we did a tour of the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
And it was amazing.
I've never been to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, but you've been to Utah.
I have been to Canyonlands National Park. Which is, in that area, yes.
There you go. I mean, you're right on the same path, right?
Yes.
I think it runs like 250 miles, the Grand Canyon. All the way,
Yeah, it would,
it's amazing.
That would be amazing, yeah. And is it dry, like can you drive there from here?
Why not?
Obviously you can, right? But you know
we did a bus tour.
Did you?
We went from Phoenix through Arizona and Utah and Nevada.
Oh, nice.
Ended up in Vegas.
Yes.
It was great. Highly recommend it.
Do anything in Vegas that you can't tell us about? Because what you do in Vegas stays in Vegas? Wait a minute. Didn't you get married in Vegas?
I did get married in Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah. The little chapel is gone now that we got married in. Yeah. But that was fantastic.
Is that because when you got married, you had to go by wagon train? I just mean that you've had a,
This will come back to haunt you, you know, that you said that. I am slightly older than you, but...
But not that old?
But not that old. No, when we got married, we got married in a little chapel. We went down to the county courthouse to get our license. Yeah.
You didn't have to like apply for it weeks in advance?
No.
Oh.
Well, I think we did because I'd worked on it, you know, before we got there. But it was great. And then we saw Diana Ross on our wedding night.
Oh, nice. Nice. What did she sing?
Oh, all her tunes.
Oh.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that would be really spectacular. I like Diana Ross. Yeah.
We took our best friends with us, and it was very special.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah, so...
and that was only...
Did not get back to the Thunderbird Wedding Chapel and Casino, but maybe next time.
What happened to it?
I'm not sure.
Oh, it's just not there?
I mean, Vegas changes a lot, right? There's probably a huge casino where it was.
Because all I know about Las Vegas, I've learned from...
the movies?
What is that?
CSI?
CSI Las Vegas? Anyway, and that's an old show.
Have you been to Vegas?
I have not.
You're kidding.
I've not been to Las Vegas, no.
Oh, it's changed now, though. You know, the old days, it was really a lot of fun.
Yeah?
I mean, you could take $100 and it would last you like days on, you know, machines that you actually pulled the...
Right.
Yeah.
And now you just push buttons?
Now you just put a credit card in and you can lose money really quickly. Yeah. And I think the best thing used to be about, you know, restaurants. Like you could go for steak and lobster for $4.99 or something. Like it's crazy.
Good deals, hey?
Yeah. It was fun.
Plus it's hot. And, you know, here it's cold most of the year. Okay. Well, now
we digress.
We do. Okay, let's get back on track. We have a prize to give away.
Yes.
Yeah, so last month we told you that we wanted to give away a poncho, and we asked you to tell us that you really, really, really wanted the poncho, and the results were
A lot of
so
people
much
really
fun.
wanted it.
Yeah, I really like the way we did that.
Yes, and I'm really pleased that we can send it out to one of you because
Yes.
that's very exciting.
Yes. So I asked Barb to pick a number, and then we went online and we counted out the numbers and we came up with the name of a winner. And so we want to say congratulations
to drum roll.
Joanne Wiggins. Joanne Wiggins really liked the poncho, but also happened to be number 12.
Yes.
Yeah. So congratulations, Joanne. We'll get in touch with you, and we will ship your poncho out to you. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you in it.
That's right. Pictures, please.
So this poncho, we probably told you a bit about it last time, but it's made with 2 Rowan yarns.
Yes.
Rowan Fine Art, which is a hand-painted fingering yarn, and then Kid Silk's.
That's right. And you can kind of see it here, you know, how it patterns. And this is a really long, there's about 110 stitches or so in here.
Yeah.
So it really stretches out the variegation of the yarn as well. When you're knitting in a sock, it had more of a pattern, didn't it?
That's true. Yeah.
But you have a few more skeins of this, I understand.
I might. Do you know how many skeins are in there?
I want to say like 3 or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I was going to say it was a pricey yarn, but you know what? It was a really beautiful yarn. It had a lot of different fiber combinations in it, and we didn't often use it as a sock yarn. We used it for garments and things like that. But yeah.
And now they've come out with a new one too. We should just make a brand new one.
Yeah.
But we have something else to give away, right?
We do. So congratulations, Joanne. We'll be in touch. And we thought, you know, this month we'd like to give something away that is different, right? We want to be different all the time. So we went through our stash of beautiful things.
We too have a stash, and we too are stash busting.
Yes. So this is a project bag that we had in our yarn stash. And it's made by a maker in Quebec. Her name is Lucy Couillard. Probably I'm pronouncing that terribly.
We can put her name though in the show notes.
For sure. So yeah, it's a beautiful bag. It's got a Western kind of theme on it. There's cowboy boots and cowboy hats on the fabric on the inside, on the outside. And on the inside is this gorgeous kind of banana cream yellow plus an egg yolk kind of yellow for pockets on the inside.
It's so pretty. And look at the beautiful stitching technique she did along the outside.
Yeah. It's almost, looks like it's hand stitched.
It does look hand stitched, but I bet you it's machine. That is very cool.
It's very well done if it's hand stitched, right?
There's snaps on it too.
Keep it closed, but you can still have your yarn
knit out of it.
Or you could fold it down, I think.
It has 2 pockets inside and a nice flat bottom, so it's not going to fall over.
Yeah. And kind of a velvet strap on
this
the side.
Beautiful button on the outside.
A nice wooden button. Yeah.
And there's stuff inside here.
Oh, what's inside, Barb?
Look at this.
All right.
Okay. A little scissor cozy.
Yes. Because scissors can be sharp.
Yes.
And they can poke holes in your bag.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and it matches the fabric on the bag.
And this color too is perfect for fall, right?
Yes, it's yes, any time of year really.
You'll be styling.
And then this is a wool ball star hand, what do you call it? Emollient. You can rub it in your hands to relieve dry skin.
Oh.
But it soaks in, so it doesn't,
That's cool.
It doesn't transfer onto your yarn.
And this is made, this is from Biscotti, right?
It is, well, I'm sure they sell it at Biscotti.
See their logo.
I see, you're right. Yeah, Lane's Biscotti yarns.
Wool ball.
Yeah. You can smell it through the plastic. So that's to soothe your hands. And this is to soothe your project.
So cute.
And then we have some stitch markers. Some cute little stitch markers. These stitch markers include, speaking of Las Vegas,
wow.
a flamingo. I just sort of think of, I don't know why, but I think of flamingos and drinks, right?
Well, that was the hotel we stayed at.
Oh, that's why.
Was the
that's
flamingo.
Why. Yeah. There's a flamingo, a starfish, an ice cream, a butterfly, and a little bauble, doodad.
Oh.
Some stitch markers.
Those are so nice.
Yeah.
All right, and those are going in here too?
Yeah. So
okay.
what's the secret?
Well, I don't know. I think
we
should ask people if they really, 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 really want this.
Okay. Why not? Why not? Do you really, 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 really want the handmade project bag?
By Lucille?
Coulard. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Lucille's bag.
Lucy.
Lucy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll include the name, of course.
Thank you, Lucille. What a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Cynthia and I had to fight over this one, and she wanted it and I wanted it. So we decided the best thing to do would be to gift it away.
It's kind of what our mother did when we fought over things. She said, "Oh, I'll just find someone else to give that to if you can't get along about it." You know? But no, we actually have a very good collection of project bags.
Yes.
And so we thought it would be really nice to give it to one of you. So tell us if you really, 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 really want it. It was fun. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's beautiful. We should talk about a yarn to go in the bag. Yeah.
Oh, yes. We have an amazing yarn that is perfect for fall.
Okay.
It's coming out, and it's part of our Yarnicorn series.
Ooh, all right. Have you got it? Have you got it here?
I do.
Okay.
I do, and I'll show it to you.
Okay.
So we should preface this, though, just by talking a little bit about what Yarnicorn is.
Oh, sure.
It's a fundraiser for us. We donate a portion of the price of the yarn to a charity, often local, but not always. And we still have to pick a charity for this month, for September.
Yeah.
But this month is called Bee's Knees. So this is all about, you know, isn't it the bee's knees?
The high quality of something, right? If something's the bee's knees, it's just like the best,
It's
right?
super. It's the best.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so we have a yarn from our friends Richard and Robert from Richard DeVries Yarns.
Yes.
And this month, they went into their inspiration about what bee's knees meant to them.
Okay.
And they came up with a really sort of autumn, fiery colorway for us.
Oh, let's see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Barb.
spectacular.
Is that Theed?
This is Theed. Yeah. This is truly the best, the bee's knees.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to dump it out.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Have a look at the colorways.
Look at this. Oh, so there's a gorgeous, gorgeous red in here and orange, kind of a beige even, like so many different.
Here's a burgundy
in
this skein.
It's definitely fall in Ontario and Eastern Canada. We don't get these vibrant colors here.
This reminds me of Hawaii.
Yeah?
This reminds me of fire and luau's and there's coral in here. There's like a bird, flowers.
Bird of paradise? Is that what you're thinking?
Bird of paradise and hibiscus and all those amazing, beautiful flowers.
Yeah. But here in Canada, what I love about this is kind of the idea that, you're driving along and the trees are giving you that one last show before they all fall and the snow comes, and it's pretty monochromatic. So it's like that big flash of brilliant color. And
this one even has purple in it here, Cynthia.
Yeah.
And speckles.
Do you think each skein's a little bit different?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I do.
So are these being sold individually, Barb? Or?
They are, yeah.
Okay.
You can buy one or you can buy, as many as you like.
Right. So probably you should at least buy 3.
Well, why not? You know, and what would you make out of this? Like, this is the whole idea too that we were talking about, where you could hold this by itself and knit a sweater. You could hold 2 strands together. 2 strands of feed would equal what? DK?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And wouldn't it be beautiful to do that, because you'd get the different colors of the strand.
They would blend.
Oh, talk about blending. So Richard and Robert
really nice.
call this wowza.
Yes, yeah. And we call it bee's knees. This is our Yarnicorn for September, which means that you won't be able to buy it until September the 20th at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. But if you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll get a reminder, a newsletter reminder on the day of, the hour of.
Yes.
And if you follow us on Facebook or on Instagram, we'll put up a post right before the yarn is ready for purchase to remind you that you better light a fire underneath you and get in on this, because it's going to go fast.
Oh my
Feed
gosh.
is such a gorgeous yarn. So this is a fingering weight 80-20 merino nylon blend. That nylon's in there in case you want to turn this into socks. But it's also a machine washable yarn. This one has 430 yards or 393 meters to 110 grams or 3.9 ounces.
Yeah.
So the skeins always feel kind of like they've got heft to them.
Exactly.
I mean, I think Robert just
they could be a weapon.
Right? But when you take it out of this beautifully tight twist, it just goes, ah. It's kind of like, you know, when you take the Spanx off. It just goes, ah. And then it turns into this beautifully soft yarn with a lot of bounce to it.
I love this yarn so much, I can't stop knitting with it. I'm working on those mitered memory squares,
yes.
and I've knit so many of them because I couldn't stop knitting with feed. I had a ball from 3 months ago when Robert
the azure and frazzled ice.
Yes. And so I used up every single centimeter of it because it was just such a joy to knit with.
Yeah.
So
it's gorgeous. Like, and that's double stranded.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And so there's just so many things that you can do with it. Okay.
So thank you, Richard and Robert, for this beautiful, beautiful yarn. Yeah. We're so grateful for you to make this for us.
Yes.
And it is a one-time offering. This is it. They throw the recipe out after they've made it for us. And the other thing I want to say about this is every single skein is gorgeous.
It is, yeah. Like, so
I want a whole bag of 10.
Whether you get 1 or 10, you're going to be happy with what you've got, because there's just so many different colors in here. Yeah.
Look at this purple in here.
I know, yeah.
Okay, so a couple of these have to come home with us, don't they?
Well, we have to keep on top of our blankets,
yes.
obviously, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll take these 6.
All right, so September 20th, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, that's 8 p.m. in the east, and 5 p.m. on the west coast.
And take a little bee's knees home with you.
Yes, yeah, totally. Okay. I think that's everything for this week.
It's a wrap?
I think that's everything for this month, Barb. We do have some videos that we'll be releasing that show you some of the pop-up shops that we had last month. And so I think I'll maybe put those together in the August collection of pop-up shops, and we'll release that separately.
Yes, check out our local makers here in the Edmonton and Alberta area.
Yeah.
We have some amazing people who have been doing some incredible work. Not just yarn dyers, which we've got some amazing yarn dyers, but potters and bag makers.
And the, Diane Fillinger from Brick Bubble, who does all kinds of really cool tags and stuff. Yeah.
Engraving.
Wood things too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, look for that. So just little reminders at the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to have your name put into the draw for this beautiful project bag, tell us that you really, really, really like it. We love it if you give us a thumbs up. We really love it if you subscribe, because that just makes us feel really special. But also, we just want to say thank you for coming out and spending this time with us. We love it. We love making these connections with people, and so
drop in and take one of our classes. Let us know what you think. This is a new venture for Cynthia and I to work with Rowan, and we're excited about yarn substitutions, and we want to be, you know, your yarn coach.
That's right. Yeah. We love to share our experience, having been in the business for many, many years. Not quite as long as Barb's been married, but almost as long as that. Right. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.